Automating things is cool for sure. But how about having an understanding if a particular lead is going to convert for you or not? I mean, how about scoring those leads and predicting what needs to be focused upon depending upon data based insights if somebody will convert for you? As we had discussed in the previous session, lead scoring is primarily done in two ways. One is a manual way of lead scoring, and the other one is and the second way is to use AI and machine learning algorithms to go ahead and do something called as predictive lead scoring. Let's go ahead and look at how lead scoring is done manually, and I am going to be using HubSpot to demonstrate that. So this is my HubSpot account. It is a dummy account, which means that there is no real data. This is only for demonstration purposes. I've gone ahead and created a HubSpot account so that I can show you how manual lead scoring is done. So this is my HubSpot account, and anybody can go ahead and create a HubSpot account, which is basically a CRM, which will house all your business data, whether it is conversions, whether it is contacts, whether it is your company related information, anything and everything that happens on your website as far as leads and managing data is concerned. It pretty much resides in your CRM. So this is my CRM, and I will go ahead and show you how you go ahead and perform your manual lead scoring. And this is your HubSpot account. Go to your settings icon here and click on something called as properties. I'm not really sure if you can see it, so let me try and align the view for you. That's much better. All right, so go ahead and click on something called as properties. Once you click on settings, now here you will see a bunch of things. Go ahead and search for something called as score. This is the HubSpot score that you go ahead and utilize. Okay, now this is where you will go ahead and set your scores based upon certain activities, right? Go ahead and edit anything on your property to you need a pro account. So what we're trying to go ahead and do is to sign up quickly for a pro account. Let me see if there's a 14-day free trial that HubSpot offers. Okay, let's do this and see if there's a free trial. Okay, start a 14-day free trial. I'm just going to go with the pro version. There's no credit card needed, so you can just go ahead and click on your trial. The trial has started. So let's go back again to your settings. Go to properties. Search for score, which is your HubSpot score. Click on that. Now you should have the functionality to edit that. Okay, now this is where you're at. Now basically you need to remember this is where you go ahead and assign scores for certain activities that your leads have performed on the website. And who decides these? You and your marketing team can sit and decide, or your sales team can also sit and decide that a person performing an activity of clicking on a product page, you assign 1 point. If he comes to the checkout page, you assign 5 points. If he goes ahead and purchases, you assign 8 points. If he repeatedly purchases, you assign 10 points. If he comes to the website, does nothing and goes back, you assign a negative score as such, so that you kind of want to get an accurate information. This is just a benchmark figure which you have set, and this is no way close to what the user's intention may be, or what the real and there is no prediction here that's happening. It is basically you assign a set of scores and have a vague idea of what certain activities are, so that you get a better idea on who to prioritize more, because you would want to prioritize on people who are sales ready first, right? So let's see and understand how that is done. Score criteria, test score criteria. Okay, now you have certain contacts here that I have uploaded. Okay, so I'm just going to say assign a positive score. So add the criteria here. Basically okay, now this is where you come and assign add criteria. Now, if a person has visited a website, that's exactly what we're looking at, right? Now, let's say if he has visited a page view, and you can include the URL, let's say www dot some random URL, right? .amazon.com/product/shoes, right? If he has visited the product page, you can assign a score to this, right? Now this score is, let's say I want to add, he has just visited the product page, so I'm just going to assign 1. Okay, and if he has submitted a form, any form submission that he has done, I'm just going to give a score of, let's say, 3. Okay. and I'm going to apply the filter, right? So he has at least visited one page view of a URL that's equal to this. And if he's also filled out a form, I'm going to assign a score of 3. And if he visited the home page and has done nothing, so I'm just going to deduct my negative points, right? So let's say he has visited a website, which means he's visited the page, which is just amazon.com, which means the home page, and has done nothing. Apply the filter. I'm just going to negative score by 2. That's about it, right? You can keep adding criteria, and you can add about 100 filters to your criteria. I'm just going to add another criteria, and I'm just going to say add 5 points if he goes to a product page, right? Or you can also go ahead and say if he has interacted with an ad, let's say, or using Facebook ad ID. I have not connected it, but you can go ahead and connect it. If he has done that, you can say 3. Okay, and if he has also filled in a form from that page, which is, you will have access to the Facebook form details. So if he has also done that, I'm just going to add another 4 points, and I'm going to set it, right? And you can you can go ahead and start looking at negative actions. If he has ad interactions for a particular, or Facebook ad, Google ad, LinkedIn ad, whatever, right? So you can go ahead and assign negative marking if he is not done something that you wanted him to do. For example, let's say form submissions, any form submission. If the contact has not filled out form on any page, assign a -3 to him, right? That's about it. So this is exactly how you go ahead and start assigning scores. I'm just going to save it. All right, so HubSpot score is applied. Now this is what it will seem like. Now test score criteria for, let's say, for this guy, right? So test it. I mean, it's a -3 because he has not visited the page, blah, blah, blah. And then this is just test data. So I'm just demonstrating it, how you go ahead and assign your scores to manual lead scoring, right? Now, this all seems fine, fantastic. At the end of the day, you go ahead and start looking at these scores, and then you forward these details to either the sales team or the marketing team, based upon whichever team is in a better position to handle these guys. But do you see what I'm talking about? I mean, you can go ahead and start looking at, let's say, Linda, say test. That's also a -3, because basically this is a fictitious thing, and they have not visited any of these things, and we don't have the data. So it's going to show a -3 for everything. But basically, for your live data, this is how you can go ahead and apply filters if you want to go ahead and execute or implement your manual lead scoring process. Now, if you want to go ahead and apply AI-based lead scoring, which means that you're not relying on manual scores assigned by you, but you're going to do a predictive modeling for that, based upon the data, based upon certain parameters, based upon the lead status. You're letting the system predict what is going to happen based upon certain things. This cannot fail, right? Because basically this is data based. Unless your data is screwed up, this cannot go wrong. Now, taking the plunge from this to going ahead and trying to create to go ahead and try and create an AI based thing, we're relying on a platform called forward.ai, which offers integrations to all the platforms that you have, like Salesforce, Marketo, you have HubSpot. So I have basically linked it, and this is a trial account that I'm running. I can go ahead and show you how the process is done. You just go to forward.ai. I'm going to link it below for a free account. You need a corporate domain to do that. Sign up for a free HubSpot account, and then go ahead and have some data on your HubSpot contacts. And then you can link it. You can basically link it with your forward account, where you can go ahead and execute AI-based prediction scoring for your leads, right? So basically what you need to do is you need to come to source. Let me show you from the beginning. So I'm just going to delete this. Yes. Okay. Now I'm just going to say new. This is where it offers all the integrations that's possible. I'm just going to say HubSpot integration. I'm just going to say next. Right? It basically links my HubSpot and forward account. I've chosen the account. Okay. Continue. Now it logs me into the account. So I've connected my source data basically, and then I need to see if there is any base. I mean, this is where all my data resides, which is contacts. This data is picked up from HubSpot. Now I'm just going to say next, contacts, because that's where all my data is housed. And I'm just going to say, do you want to add a local filter? You can just say that, okay, if the lead status is equals attempted to contact, you can just say done. I mean, if you want, you can add these filters, but it's completely up to you and your requirement. Now it syncs the data between your HubSpot and forward.ai. So basically, you've connected your source data, which is HubSpot, and then you're going ahead and filtering any amount of data, specific data that you would want to score. Now, once you have done that, you will go ahead and customize your metrics, which is this. Now you go here and say, okay, this is where your scoring happens, and this is the criteria for your scoring to happen. Just like how we had positive, negative in the manual lead scoring, where you assign positive points and negative points, this is where you will define your success criteria, which means if something is matching, and you'll also assign a fail criteria, which means what are the things that you don't want, what are the things that are basically a fail for you, that if a customer does or does not do those activities, and you will customize it accordingly, so that the predictive model will keep this in mind. And if a success criteria event occurs, it will go ahead and push the score up, and if a fail criteria event occurs, it pushes the score down, so that it is in a better position to understand, how do I predict which of these leads are going to convert better. How does it take that into account? It takes a lot of things into account in terms of the lead come in date, the lead follow up date, the status of the lead. Did we get in touch with him? How old is the lead? Is it marketing qualified? It is sales qualified? So you basically can filter in and put in all those details, right? So let's try and add how this looks like. So lead status is something that I have added already. And if the lead data lead status, what is a success for you? If the lead status is equals, if it's a new lead, right? It's a good thing for me, right? So I'm just going to say if the lead status is equal, is new, then it's good. But unfortunately, we have no data falling into that thing. So let's say let's just leave it, because I mean I've set in my criteria, so that's all I need to do. Fail criteria is what? If a lead status is unqualified, right? Or I have attempted to contact but there is no response. That's a fail story for me, right? I'm just gonna say done. Okay, audience, you can just have any what is the audience that you would want to apply this criteria to. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. So that's about it. Let's say lower than one. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna say done. Okay, that's it. So this is my metrics. Let's see if it's appropriate. It is appropriate. It is uploaded correctly. There is no data. So, okay. Now then you go to projects and see you have automated lead scoring. Now here is where you will see all the data that you have entered that falls into your set criteria, and you can add any parameters that you would want from the parameters available here. But since it's a very, very small set of data that I don't have anything that falls into this, then you can go ahead and build a model based upon what parameters you would want to add. For example, if I would want to look at, say, lead response, right? So basically you can choose from whatever is applicable here, and then you can save it, and that's how you go ahead and build the model. Then comes automations, where you can go ahead and start automating things, right? So as there is no automation, there is not enough data yet, I can't build a model, but this is basically how you do it, right? So this is how you go ahead and execute your manual lead scoring versus automated lead scoring. Worth a try. You should definitely give this a try. So basically what you can do is you can go ahead and start a contact us form, and then you can do a lot of integrations with these. You can integrate with Zapier, where type form data comes into HubSpot automatically. Anything that people fill in will come here, and then you can go ahead and customize your success, failure, and audience ratios, audience metrics based upon this criteria, whatever suits your requirement. So if I want, I can change this to anything can be a success for me, right? And I'm just going to say done. Basically, if I think I don't want a negative score, let's remove this data. This is only for demonstration, guys. There's no logic here. Okay. Lead status contains equals any of these things. Okay. Done. That's about it. So then you go ahead and go to projects, the data. You can create a new project. You can take your details. So you can just name it testing, and then you can click on this. But there is no any analysis created yet. But if you have enough data, you will see enough data here that flows into this so that you can go ahead and customize your data. So this basically is how you go ahead and perform your automated scoring based on the data that flows into your HubSpot or Salesforce or Marketo or any other platform. That's about it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in the next session. If you have any questions, please put these things down in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Ciao. My name is Casey. You are watching Marketing Think Tank.